Hi everyone, I'm Marina, and today I'm going to give you a tour of Verona, one of the most romantic cities in the world, and the legendary home of Romeo and Juliet. My husband and I, along with our 5 kids, are going on a 6,500-mile road trip across Europe. We are going to visit 30 of the most popular and most beautiful cities in Europe. Many of them are ranked among the most stunning destinations in the world. Over the course of this journey, we'll discover which city deserves to be called Europe's best city, which famous destination is the biggest disappointment, and which hidden gem travelers are overlooking. We'll share our honest opinions of every place we visit and rank them from 1 to 30 based on our personal experience. Today we are exploring city number 10 on our trip across Europe. Verona is located in northern Italy, just south of the Italian Alps. The city sits halfway between Milan and Venice. It has around 260,000 residents and a metropolitan area of about 900,000. Verona is often overshadowed by its larger neighbors, Milan and Venice. Verona's history stretches back more than 2,000 years. Its Roman origins and remarkably preserved historic center give it a heritage that rivals any city in the region. Verona is best known as the setting of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Although Shakespeare's lovers were fictional, Verona adopted their legend as part of its identity. Through tourism and cultural celebration, Verona became one of Europe's most romantic destinations. In the middle of the city is Piazza Bra, the largest public square in Verona. It serves as the city's main gathering place. It's surrounded by historic buildings, cafes, and wide pedestrian areas. In the middle is a small park, providing shade and a place to relax. Dominating the square is the Verona Arena. The Verona Arena was built around 30 AD, while Jesus was still alive walking this earth. Completed about 40 years before the Colosseum, it's one of the best preserved Roman amphitheaters in the world. In Roman times, it could accommodate around 30,000 spectators. Today, the arena continues to host live performances. Instead of gladiator contests, it is famous for concerts and opera under the stars. Next to the arena is a neoclassical palace that serves as the city's town hall. The north side of the square is aligned with colorful historic buildings. Their ground floors are occupied by lively cafes and restaurants with outdoor terraces. This gives the piazza its warm, unmistakably Italian charm. Every corner of the piazza reveals another piece of Verona's past. Roman ruins, historic walls, weathered stone arches, and medieval buildings. Each reflects different eras of Verona's 2,000 years of history. Next to the arena is one of Verona's busiest streets. Via Mazzini is much more than Verona's main shopping street. It's a narrow pedestrian-only street connecting two of Verona's main squares. Retail has existed here in one form or another since Roman times. The street is paved with large slabs of local marble, polished over decades by millions of footsteps. Something else decorating the street are hundreds of balconies. Buildings were repeatedly updated. As architectural tastes changed, owners often added stone or wrought iron balconies. That's why the balconies vary so much in style. Via Mazzini is only about 500 meters, or roughly 1/3 of a mile long. The street brings us to Piazza delle Erbe. This is Verona's most beautiful square. This was the original Roman square. Today it's filled with cafes, market stalls, and colorful buildings. Piazza delle Erbe translates as Square of Herbs. The square feels like a painting. Every direction shows a different century: Roman history, medieval towers, Renaissance paintings, and Venetian influences. There are modern cafes and different markets. Few squares in Europe have so many layers packed into one view. Many locals consider it the heart of Verona. This is one of Italy's most atmospheric squares because it is a place that has never stopped being used. At the center of the square stands the Madonna Verona fountain. It dates to 1368. The statue represents Verona itself as a crowned woman. High above the square is the Lamberti Tower. The Lamberti Tower has watched over Verona for more than 800 years. It is Verona's tallest tower. It offers one of the best panoramic views of the city. Almost every building along the square belonged to someone important. This was where Verona's wealthy families wanted to live. One of Verona's biggest tourist attractions is Juliet's house. Even though Juliet is fictional, this is one of Italy's most visited sites. The creation of Juliet's house and the famous balcony was Verona turning a literary legend into a physical place. There was a very long line waiting to enter, so we decided to skip going inside. The Juliet balcony is just one of thousands of beautiful balconies throughout Verona. North of Piazza delle Erbe is Piazza dei Signori, a much quieter square surrounded by elegant Renaissance buildings. Connected are different courtyards showing the different eras of Verona's evolution. Another beloved ancient Roman monument in Verona is Porta Borsari, an ancient Roman gateway that once served as one of the main entrances into Verona. Built nearly 2,000 years ago, it is a reminder that beneath the medieval city lies a much older Roman past. This is one of the best preserved Roman gateways anywhere in Europe. Nearly 2,000 years later, people still pass through it every day. On the other side of the gate is Corso Porta Borsari. This is one of the oldest streets in Verona. It's very similar to Via Mazzini and leads to Piazza delle Erbe. On the south side of the gate is Corso Cavour, one of Verona's grandest streets. connecting the historic center with some of the city's most important landmarks. One of the greatest landmarks along the street is Castelvecchio, a massive 14th century fortress built by the Scaligero family. The name literally means Old Castle. The castle was the headquarters of the powerful family. For more than a century, they transformed Verona into one of the wealthiest and most influential cities in northern Italy. Attached to the castle is the Ponte Scaligero. If the castle came under siege or a rebellion broke out, the family could flee across the escape bridge and ride into the countryside. When completed in the 1350s, it had one of the largest bridge arches in the world at the time. It has stood through 6 centuries of history. Today, it's one of Verona's most beautiful viewpoints. On the north side of the city is Ponte Pietra, the oldest bridge in Verona. Its origins date to approximately 100 BC. This is one of the few Roman bridges still serving its original function more than 2 millennia later. On the other side of the bridge, the city rises into the hills. Ancient churches, quiet paths, and the hilltop of Castel San Pietro overlook Verona and the winding Adige River below. The viewpoint at Castel San Pietro is especially famous for the classic postcard view of Verona. The countryside has a beautiful backdrop with beautiful vineyards and villages. Verona sits near several world-famous wine regions. Now that we have seen some of the things that make Verona special, it's time to rank it.
We were a bit hesitant to add Verona to the list of cities that we're going to explore in Europe because it is definitely overshadowed by the larger cities around it. The highest I've ever seen it rated in best cities in Italy is like 7 or 8. It's not on the top of many lists, but it is rated one of the most romantic cities in the world, and it has the best preserved Roman amphitheater in the world, so we added it to the list. This was our first introduction to an Italian city, and I can say that Verona completely surpassed our expectations. It's surrounded by Italian cypress trees. They are everywhere, throughout the city, along the riverside, in the countryside. Crossing over the bridges to the city center, you could see into the countryside. It's some mountains, hills with vineyards in it. It's absolutely beautiful. Once you get into the city, the main plaza with the Roman amphitheater and the colorful buildings around it, it feels so old but very well taken care of. And I really enjoy how colorful everything is. It feels very Italian to me.
Yeah, it was like the epitome of Italian city.
It had the full Italian atmosphere. Our biggest surprise was how much we enjoyed it. I kept telling Marina, I said, how are other Italian cities going to be better than this? I was also surprised how crowded it was. We were there on a weekend, so maybe that added a little bit to it. This was also the first time on the trip that we experienced a line to get into somewhere that was several hours long. That's why we skipped going to the Juliet house and balcony. I was like, there's so many balconies here in Verona that I've already seen. I don't want to stand in line for several hours to go see some fictional character's balcony. One of the things we enjoyed most about Verona was the food. We got focaccia sandwiches again for lunch, and even some of our more selective kids tried it, and it became one of their favorites.
They ate it. They didn't just try it. They tried it and then they kept eating it because it was so good, and probably because they were so hungry as well.
Could be.
Which made them explore and try fun different flavors in the sandwiches.
They took over my sandwich.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we got some gelatos and we ate it in the park next to the arena. And can't think of a better area or place to enjoy this iconic Italian treat. It was absolutely perfect.
Yeah, it was memorable and beautiful and delicious.
So where does Verona rank on our list? We rank it right below Hallstatt. Verona excels in everything Italian. The Verona Arena, the beautiful buildings. When we were exploring the city, we kept seeing the slogan, the most Italian city on earth, and I think that describes Verona perfectly. Would we come here again?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, if you are craving Italy, this may be the best place to experience and absorb it. And I'm really excited to see how this is going to compare to the rest of the cities that we will be visiting in Italy. Well, thanks for watching, and if you would like to support our journey, subscribe or join our Patreon community. And the next city we'll be visiting is the Floating City.
Until next time, as we journey across the real coast to coast.